turned the world upside down. Can we have some more of that?
Feeling self-conscious. It's something I've always done spontaneously, and now I'm being made to be self-conscious about it.
You know, it's not for the first time that you have challenged patriarchy through action. You know, it was laughter, and before, you know, the image that I have of you is, and it's very different from laughter. It's a somber thing that you were doing the last rites of your father, and amidst a lot of hue and cry, and people were like, okay, how can a woman do that? What do you have to say, you know, these little private actions that become political?
See, the private actions were the foundations that were laid in my upbringing. I wasn't brought up to be a girl or a boy, but a citizen of this country. And I lived by those norms, and I paid the price. None of these, whether it was riding a motorcycle in college, I used to ride a bullet, and driving a tractor out of sheer necessity because the tractor driver fell ill and we couldn't let the land lie fallow because agriculture is so seasonal. Doing my father's right was a diktat which my father had told me long ago that I'll have to do it. And because we had no sons or brothers, thank God for that. So we grew up being absolutely equal to anyone else. And my father told me, if I'm around with you and something happens to me, you do it. Otherwise, call the municipal corporation and take my body away. That's what he had said. And I don't think I need anybody's certification or the Panditji's permission to do this. The quarrel was that a lot of men stood up and said, how can you do it? Call your sister's son to do it because I don't have sons. Call your maternal uncles to do it. And I kept asking, but why? Why would they have to do it? This is the last tribute I can for my father, who I love dearly. And why is it that I'm denied this? And I stuck to my guns because there was no question of us replaying or redoing that situation. It's something I in the past so many years of my life, my father had repeatedly told me, and it was ingrained in me that it is something I will do very naturally. And so you take it, because there are a lot of people in society whose eyebrows will raise, they'll criticize you, they hurt you. And today you have the modern day trolls who come on electronically and don't have the guts to face you. And they talk rubbish about people who they don't even know. How pathetic is that? But then these are things which you need to stand by yourself. These are your convictions. And if out of social hypocrisy I fall into line, then no matter what I talk, and I'm in a very privileged position, that I'm a lawmaker, that I'm in parliament, and if I'm articulating something, then I must learn to put my money where my mouth is. I can't say something in parliament and then go back to being some Sati Savitri in my village or in my district or in my home. I've got to lead by example. And for me, luckily, none of these were an effort. It was intrinsic to my being who I am and being ingrained in me and growing up the way I did, defined by these very challenges. And so I've done it now. It doesn't matter whether I didn't do it for publicity, I didn't do it. I challenged authority because they were lying through their teeth. Someone who criticized the Aadhaar card stands in parliament and without blinking an eyelid is saying that the Aadhaar concept was sown in the BJP time. How amazing. Either you weep in despair or you laugh, and obviously it went home.
Right. Do you think that the example the parliament set that day was rather an unfortunate one?
Unfortunate? Rubbish. This is what we face every day. And the irony is that the parliament that makes the rules for women is where you need to educate them the most. Barring a handful of men who grow up and treat us as equals, for the rest we are either part of their perks, we are there for ornamental or entertainment purposes, we are there for their pleasure principle, but they don't believe that we are there by right and as equals, that we are colleagues and not someone to be derided on. And it's a reflection of what our society is. Who are these men? These are the men who come from different walks of our country. and different stratas and society, different economic equations. And the irony is that these men come to Parliament and it takes us years of challenge for them to accept us for what we are. I'm not fighting to be equal. I would be lacking in ambition if I did. I am fighting for them to understand that, I mean, just the thought of not getting the reservation bill into Parliament. Look at the battle we are fighting. It's precisely that.
Is there solidarity on the women's reservation
Oh,
across party?
Of course, where male bonding goes, where women are concerned, there is a huge male bonding club that goes on, cutting across party lines. They are huge. We are lucky in the Congress in that sense that because we had late Indira Gandhi and we had Sonia Gandhi as our leaders and women leaders, and the men know how to listen and execute what they say, that has been a huge help. And Rahul Gandhi is very much a today's man, and he doesn't accept this. He doesn't accept it, and he takes things into his hand and actually gives direction, saying this is not acceptable conduct by the men.
How about the bonhomie amongst women parliamentarians cutting across the party line?
It's there. I had huge support from women cutting across party lines. We all went and addressed the chairperson of the parliament, Venkaiah Naidu ji. We went to his chambers and we spoke. Unfortunately, we can't repeat what we spoke inside because that's part of parliamentary decorum and the chairman's protocol. So I can't repeat what we said. But entire cutting across BSP, NCP, Jaya Bachchan ji came, Vandana Chauhan ji came, Viplav Thakur ji came, Rajni Patil ji came, Shailja Kumari led it. A whole lot of us, the whole bunch of us went there, barring the BJP.
Nirmala Sitharaman did not smile, you know, when
yeah, she's
when men were thumping, she was not
my
smiling.
God, she's one woman who's in the male bastion of defense services. So if she's not going to be sensitive to this, then everything is going to be defeated. And let's credit her with more intelligence than falling for that trap of thumping on the desk for political kudos from their bosses. It's such a Pavlovian reflex of these men. Please tell them to go and look up what Pavlov means and what that makes them. So it is a Pavlovian reflex where for authority they do it. So when that authority is challenged, this is what they become. Puddles of male misogyny, where they have no identities of their own, that they think they don't have the guts to stand up and say, hey, you know, I respect a woman, because they come under their own peer pressures and they don't understand that that's what they do. There are lots of men who are nice to their wives in the privacy of their homes, but when they go out into the male bastions, the men come under pressure and then they have to behave macho. Macho is not leaving your collar open till your navel. Macho is not muscle. Macho is a mental makeup. When you learn to look at a woman and respect her, when you can say it with authority that you respect her, that's a man, not these wimps.
Do you remember? Do you remember an incident when you had just joined politics, and can you recall any similar incident that?
Oh my God, we face it every day.
No, as a parliamentarian.
As a parliamentarian, we are not unique or different from the social strata of life. We all come into parliament from different walks of our society. So I'm always amazed when people say, oh, in parliament this happens. Yes, parliament is a reflection of what happens in our streets. And these are the same people who come from that same sample group of our society. They come in. The idea of being in parliament is that we evolve, that we help set direction for a society to be self-regulatory, for us to be able to bring a governance that is equitable to all. We the people, when it was defined by the Constitution, includes us. It includes transgenders. It includes children. Why are we still battering our head to bring in laws and legislation to make us more equal? I mean, that is the defeatist thing. But then you have to, because you have these men who actually need more attention than us. Because for them to break out of their backgrounds and to break out of their mindsets is a national challenge today. You need these men to empower men to stand up and say, hey, I'm man enough to respect a woman.
Right.
And that's where it is.
How many times have you given it back as good as you got?
Oh, given it back and more. Because I don't fall into the stereotype. And it's unfortunate because they see my dress, I'm usually in a sari. And so they fit me into their mental stereotype. They would like it better if I covered my head, better still if I covered my mouth. But unfortunately, that's not happening. So when they see my sari, they let me in through the door. But when I open my mouth, then they're very unhappy about it. Well, tough luck, because that's how it's going to be. And that's how it had to be for me to reach where I did today. And the challenge is still on.
You know, when I heard that laughter, I only thought of the laugh of the Medusa, and you know how it threatens men all the time. Can we close this with that characteristic signature laugh?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, this is the laugh that's resonating hopefully in every woman. I got huge support from social media and from women across the country. I'm amazed that there's actually a Surpanaka club group that's evolved. We don't want to be Sitas, we want to be Surpanakas, and what you're going to do about it. Now they don't realize that it's turned around and bitten them. And then there is also this hashtag that's going around, LOL is passe, it's LLRC, laugh like Renuka Chaudhary. Well, and guess what, girls, it's tax free.